What's up, brothers? Today I'm going to be bringing you a ADC tier list of who I think is your best bet to climb in this new season. For those that don't know, preseason is, okay, not preseason. Start of the season is actually really important because everyone's MMR is messed up. So if you play a ton and you win a lot of your matches at the start, you can actually just straight up like propel yourself in an insane amount, like 2 or 3 ranks higher than you probably would have been able to get in the same time frame. That being said, I have all the ADCs here. I'm going to list them. I also have Ziggs. I'll put them in here. Why not? But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Remember to leave a like if you want to see more content like this. No patch note rundown just because the patch notes are so minuscule and I'm mostly going to talk about their impact this video. With that being said, I think I'm going to start off with the strongest AD carries just because I know a lot of people don't like their time being wasted. Jhin is by far the best in my opinion. I think Vayne is second. And Kaiser I would say is high A. I think these two are the only two that are actually in S tier. I think Kaiser might break into S tier, but the data still isn't out for this patch because it just came out. So I can't give you like a super duper informed opinion, but I can give you my opinion. I think Kaiser's new build with the AP stuff, along with the Immortal Shield Bow and Wits Bow nerfs, or Wits End nerfs, she doesn't use either of those items. They suck on her, especially Immortal Shield Bow. With that being said, I think Kaiser might be S tier, although I think it's still below Vayne and Jhin. Vayne did get nerfed with Immortal Shield Bow, Wits End, and then also her ulti damage is down, but honestly, I don't think it's that impactful for her. I think she's still going to be broken. Alright, so less easier ones. I would say Draven is probably A tier. Like I said, Immortal Shield Bow kind of hurts him, but he's still really dominant, and you can carry a lot of solo queue games with him just because of how his lane phase plays out, especially like below plat. You can stomp every single game with Draven. I think for solo queue, Kalista's already a bad champion, and I think right now with the overpresence, but just everyone using exhaust, I think Kalista might be the worst champion you could, or the ADC that you can play in solo queue right now, just because she doesn't feel really strong. Wits End and Immortal Shield Bow got nerfed. You need synergy with your support, and everyone's taking exhaust, therefore you have to take cleanse instead of heal. And she's hard to play on top of that. I don't think Kalista is a very good bet to be climbing solo queue with. I think Jinx is a solid A tier, maybe B tier, but I think she's definitely below Draven. Problem is she can't have an impact in every single match, but she can have an impact. Like when she's able to have an impact, her impact can be really big just because of Get Excited. So I think she's solid. I think Samira might be an F tier, but Nah, she's F tier, bro. I think she's better than Kalista. The problem with Samira is right now there's so much crowd control. Their tanks are really stupid. Immortal Shield Bow just got nerfed. I think Samira is in a horrible spot right now. I think Caitlyn can serve as a pretty solid counter pick. I don't think that you should be first picking her though. I think Ezreal is actually probably a better first pick than Caitlyn, but Caitlyn can be a solid counter pick, especially if you know how to play her. I think the champion's solid. I think Ashe is probably in A tier. The thing is, it's the Immortal Shield Bow Wits End changes that I'm still not 100% on. They're not like insane huge nerfs and no one will build the item anymore, but they're definitely noticeable. I'm going to put her in a reluctantly high B tier. She could be A tier. I don't think she's S tier. The thing about Ashe is her damage is kind of low, but on the other hand, her kiting is very good, and her ability to make picks is really good. I think if you're in higher elo, I would say probably like high plat and above. Ashe might be an A tier just because you can rely on your teammates to actually follow up on your arrows, whereas like any lower, they could just mess up. I think Varus is probably in D tier. I have not been seeing him at all, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty sure his win rate was like, yeah, I was about to say, it was 47 when I checked it, and he got buffed, so it went up to 48. That's cool and everything, so it's probably 49. Thing is, yeah, no, I don't think Varus is very good. It's also, I would rather just, if I'm playing on a team, I would rather just have you pick Ashe right now. Varus and Ashe accomplish a lot of the same goals. Varus is more poke oriented and Ashe is more kiting oriented. But yeah, I would rather just have you pick Ashe. I think Tristana can have a really good impact early game and later. I think the champion's mediocre at best. When I played her, she felt extremely weak, and once again, Exhaust is catching on more like it should have last season. Everyone's taking it. Exhaust hard counters Tristana. I always encourage you guys to take Exhaust into Tristana, and looks like people are just taking Exhaust, period. So Tristana really gets hurt by that, but she can have a good impact early game, get plating. Her game plan is still solid for solo queue. I just don't think the champion's in a very strong spot. Along with the Wardle Shield Bow nerfs, she never really builds that item, so it could be, you know. I think Xayah is probably below Ashe, like realistically. My Xayah is obviously S tier, but I think Xayah is probably in B tier. She does have good coverage with both the Gale Force and Eclipse builds, so you can be like, you know, you can be flexible with her. She's not like a, you can only pick her against assassins right now. You can play her into other stuff right now too with both builds. With that being said, she still does feel a little weak with Gale Force. I definitely think she's better than Caitlyn, and I don't think she's better than Ashe. Yeah, I would say Xayah is like a B tier. I would say Ziggs might be high A tier. Yeah, I would say Ziggs probably high A tier. This isn't really an AD carry, but he's played so often in the bot lane. I feel like I have to include him. The thing about Ziggs is he's, like I said just now, he's not an AD carry. So he doesn't really have that consistent damage, but he also kind of does with how often his Q comes up and his passive and his E like constantly ticking. He does solid. Got a little bit of a learning curve for AD carry players, but if you like if you play like, I don't know, like mages mid, like if you queue ADC mid, I know a lot of people do that. If you queue ADC mid and you play mages mid, he might be a little bit easier to pick up for you. But honestly, if you're not comfortable with mages, I wouldn't recommend playing him unless he gets to like this point where he's super duper broken. He might, just because Wit's End got nerfed and Immortal Shield Bow. Those getting nerfed basically makes it so that any champion that wasn't building Immortal Shield Bow Wit's End before is way better than they were. So Jhin is a perfect example. Jhin as an AD carry, so in a vacuum, right? Jhin doesn't care that Immortal Shield Bow and Wit's End got nerfed, but it makes his opponents weaker. Therefore, Jhin is stronger. If that makes any sense at all, because Jhin never built those items. Jhin would rather build Eclipse, which also got nerfed, so he'd rather just build Gale Force, which is what he was default building. I think Aphelios is probably stronger than Varus, but definitely weaker than Tristana. I think his learning curve is too high for most people to even like play him. But he's not bad. This is just a solo queue climbing tier list. I'm trying to make this as like rank friendly as possible, and with that being said, rank friendly as possible, I don't think Aphelios is worth time investment or worth you playing unless you know how to play him. And even if you know how to play him, even if you're a goated Aphelios, I still think these champions are better. I think Twitch is probably, he is counter picks currently, so I'm gonna put Twitch in C below Tristana. Problem is he can't really have an impact a lot of the times. It's kind of the similar situation as with Jinx. However, Twitch is not only harder to play, but also harder to get going. I think Senna is probably below Twitch. Yeah, I don't know whether to put her in C or D tier. I'll put her in C just because I feel like, I mean, it's my champion, you know what I'm saying? The main issue that Senna is struggling from right now is a lack of, not mythic items, runes. She does not have really the best runes to take right now. I've talked about Fleet Footwork and I've also talked about Press the Attack. Neither really feel that good for me, in all honesty. I feel like Fleet Footwork, I don't know why this has a high win rate. I'm gonna level with you. I think the best ones, and the ones I'm gonna be taking in this season, are First Strike and Press the Attack, depending on who I'm laning with. If Fleet Footwork keeps having a high win rate, maybe I'll try it more, but I think this is just kind of a fluke. I don't know why it's so high. I think Ezreal is probably better than Xayah and Caitlyn. I think you could pick him in pretty much any lobby as long as you have crowd control on your team. I feel like Ezreal is a pretty solid pick. He's very flexible. If your support roams, cool, go ahead roam. If your support stays, cool, we can push tower, get it, like, you know, get platings, get all that stuff. I think Ezreal's in a pretty solid spot with the new First Strike rune. I just don't think that he's that strong. But I think right now with the Crown of the Shattered Queen build, he's actually pretty solid. And on top of that, I'm gonna keep saying it, but Immortal Shield Bow and Wit's End got nerfed. Ezreal doesn't build those items. Ezreal benefits. I think, honestly, Kog'Maw, I know Kog'Maw's win rate has been really high the past patches, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I haven't played him once, and I haven't seen him once. So this is going to be a little bit of a shot in the dark. I'll be honest. If I don't know, I'm going to be honest. These ones I feel confident about. Kog'Maw, I'm not so sure. I'm going to put Kog'Maw in B tier below Ashe. I'd say below Ezreal too. And below Xayah. Okay, I'll put Kog'Maw right here. The problem with Kog'Maw is, once again, I don't know if this is valid or not. because I never see him. I'm going to be honest. I don't see the champion. But in all honesty, he needs a certain support. A lot of supports simply won't play the Lulu. They won't play Nami. They won't play whatever you need, and they kind of screw you over. It's fine. And on top of that, he needs extremely good peel, Wit's End, and Immortal Shield Bow just got nerfed, which is, yep, that's what he was building. I'm gonna put him in B tier. This is the first reluctant placement on this list. Another reluctant placement for me is Sivir. I've played her. She feels fine. She doesn't feel great though. She can't really solo carry games. She doesn't, I don't know. I feel like the champion's super low impact for solo queue. I'm going to put her C below Senna. I feel like Senna has an even bigger impact than her just because of the auto attack range difference. And even with the lethality build, I don't think Sivir is very high impact. I don't think Sivir is weak. I think she's fine. Like, I think she's probably better than Tristana as a champion. However, for solo queue climbing purposes, I don't think so. I think Misfortune is at the top of C tier. Eclipse just got nerfed, so this could variate to probably below Twitch would be where I was most willing to put her. But I even think with the Eclipse nerfs, Kraken Slayer build is still pretty strong on her. Yeah, I'm gonna put her at C tier. The problem is that she's just not, you can't pick her in every single game. You need like kind of a wombo combo team comp or a strong early game laner, like a Rel or something. Yeah, she needs some kind of support and peel, kind of like Kog'Maw, but I would say to a lesser extent. And the last AD carry is Lucian. So Lucian Nami is stupid right now to the point where if you pick Lucian, your support's probably going to pick Nami, even with the Kog'Maw. Like, even people who don't play Nami might pick it. That's what I've been experiencing, but I don't know if people in low elo know that Lucian Nami is absolutely disgusting. I think he's better than MF. I think a lot of his lane matchups right now are good too. We're seeing some short range AD carries with Kaiser, Draven, Vayne. But I also right now we're seeing a lot of Crown of the Shattered Queen long range tanks. I'm gonna put him in high C. I'm gonna say this is the second reluctant pick just because he can stomp solo queue, right? He can absolutely tear it apart. But he has a lot of bad matchups, a lot of bad team comps that he doesn't fit into. But Immortal Shield Bow did get nerfed. I'm gonna put him in C or B. B really shouldn't be the most. It should. It's preseason. Yeah. Okay. I would say this is my list. It's kind of like a bell curve, which is normally what you aim for when making tier lists, so that's good. Means my opinion is at least somewhat right. So instead of flaming me, telling me that X champion's wrong, please leave a comment, tell me. I'm gonna be honest with you though, only champions I'm willing to see like a big change in would be like Kog'Maw, Lucian, and that's it. I think my opinion's right. Like that's such like a stupid thing to say, but I think this is as close as you're probably gonna get for right now with the lack of data we have. We still don't know how impactful the Immortal Shield Bow changes were, and I know you could be saying, well, Kennedy, just wait. I'm busy. I'm not waiting. Plus, I need YouTube views, so that's what we're doing. Okay, well, if I say anything different, okay, well, this is going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Stay safe. Play good this I keep saying preseason. It's done in an hour and 21 days from the time of recording. But play good in your placement matches. I wish you all the best of luck. Stay safe. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.